step up to the fight, playing with powers they don't understand. Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, vanity, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers don't need no cause. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Holy shit! Authors and dragons! Authors and dragons!
Hey there, I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fandango the Feathered. Beautiful bird of, well, not prey, but beautiful bird. In real life, I write the Black Knight Chronicles, the Bubba the Monster Hunter comedic horror series, and the Quincy Harker Demon Hunter series, the most recent of which, Conspiracy Theory, is available now in ebook and print with audio coming in February. So get on out there and give me your monies. Daddy's got sales to hit.
Hi, I'm Joseph Brassie. I play the role of Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. I was an author on the Mongoliad books. My novels Skyfarer and Dragon Road are available right now from Angry Robot Books. And I am the author of such non-existent titles as Oh my God, what's on your face?
Hi, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and I'm currently waiting for my hearing to return. In the game, I play Silas Maine, equestrian warrior of the mighty Tornag. In real life, I write several series, including The Tome of Bill, Bill of the Dead, and my most recent release is Bent on Destruction, finally out on audio. So go check out Audible, iTunes, wherever your ears need a lovin'.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, currently Weasel Klaus. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy, novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures. I also write many of the Shingles collection, including the most recent released, The Little Arsonist Girl. Go check that out.
Hi there, I'm Steve Weverill, and I play Brandon Fymaster, monk, puma, and officially the best monk puma in the entire game. In real life, I write such books as the fantasy comedy series The Doomsayer Journeys, as well as the origin story of Brandon Fymaster, the totally legend of Brandon Fymaster, the follow-up to which Brandon Fymaster and some other guys should be releasing rather soon, so keep an eye out for that, sucker.
Hey everybody, I am Drew Hayes, author of books such as NPCs, Superpowered, Fred the Vampire Accountant, and Forging Hephaestus, the first book in the Villain's Code series, the sequel to which is coming out soon, hopefully within December 2020, as all things are still looking good. And in other news, on our Patreon this week, what you might have missed if you're not a member is that we started our Tournament of Tinsel by screening The Christmas Prince, and, well, that was an experience. Honestly, not as bad as we thought. You'll be able to check that out on the feed, I believe, already, if you're signed up. And we also did our live hangout, which for this month was a power hour, which we indulged in with our fans. If that sounds like fun to you, then you can join in next week's festivities by joining patreon.com/authorsanddragons. So come sign up and we'll see you there. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, they had successfully run up some goo. Well, some of them had successfully run up some goo. I don't want to oversell it here.
Everyone who counts.
Brandon Thighmaster, Stallion of the Gods, and Bjorg had successfully completed the course. And with their completion of it, there is a bright flash of light in the arena, and as it suddenly turns red.
The Rapture!
And you can all hear Mr. Histers. It looks like more than half of the party has completed the course. That means we're in the final challenge mode. The remaining competitors have only 3 rounds to finish.
Well, looks like I'm fucked.
I like how he just left the consequences dangling there.
Yep.
That's mathematically impossible, so...
Oh, don't you worry. The course has some special facilities in play. for the final round.
Oh, fuck.
Release the sharks.
The Death Sharks.
I'm 100% dimension dooring this motherfucker if there are sharks.
Motivational sharks.
Anti-magic motivational sharks.
Anti-parrot motivational sharks.
Stallion, Brandon, and Bjorg, you all are on the platform. You're kind of being lowered down. There's like a little ramp that you can all start off of. So for expediency, we're just going to let Fendingo and Klaus have their goes at it. Klaus, you're up first,
All right.
and you are on the swing-ups, the moving bars. So, I need an athletics check.
Coming up. Klaus rolls a 14.
Okay, so a 14 is normally enough to move you 1 bar. But as you leap onto the bar, there's a mechanism at the point where it sort of attaches to the air, and it suddenly lets out a sound that, you know, when you pull a doorstop back and let it go real fast?
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Or when Klaus sees a really hot other weasel walking by, same sound.
All right, Klaus, you are flung upward into the air.
This is the Wile E. Coyote round.
A little bit.
Let's hope for spinning blades.
Roll me a dexterity save.
Dexterity save. Oh, Klaus rolls a natural 1.
Oh!
Way to go, awesome dex.
That's still a 9. That's still so good. Yeah. Like that
Advantage,
one.
I would have gotten a 2 there. A 10.
Yeah. And honestly, that probably would have been enough to get you.
Awesome.
But yeah, with a nat 1, there's not much to be done. You go sailing past. It does move you up a few, but you go sailing right past and splash into the goo.
Woohoo!
All right, Fendingo.
That looked like really less fun than it should have.
I'm kind of liking this sudden death round.
Fendingo rolls a 12.
All right, a 12 is, I believe, just enough to move you 1. Yep, that is the low end. But again, we are in the sprunging situation, and it throws you up. Roll me a dexterity save.
How do you spring a cloaca?
Carefully. Very carefully.
There are ways.
17 on a dex save.
God damn. Yeah, that's really good. All right, with a 17, let's see, 10 you would have caught. 1, 2. What the hell? We'll let you land on the thing.
Wings, bitches. Glide, motherfucker.
Oh no, you do that all bird. You're just twisting through the air. You're like, I do know how to fall still. We'll say you flare them out at the end and catch yourself. So as not to get
because I
hurt.
gotta show off my sexy ass feathers, yo.
All right, that's round 1. The red light intensifies. Klaus,
Athletics check.
athletics check.
Coming up.
You gotta start back at the
Klaus rolls a 3.
yeah,
That's impressive.
and kerplop.
This is the cleanest class has ever been.
He's just weighed down by all the goo in his fur.
And I've been there plenty of times.
Ugh.
All right, Fendingo, roll me a con check. Not a save, a check.
Constitution check. 7.
Yeah, you run off into the slime, and you are not prepared for the way it kind of flows offward, and it knocks you down into the goo. But like all the goo, it is of course just there to cushion your fall, so you are okay. All right, first round we had some successes. Second round not so much. Final round. All right, Klaus.
All right. Final round. I can clear 2 courses. No problem.
At this point now, the little things are just like whipping back and forth, up and down, like they are clearly made for maximum sprunging.
All right. Athletics. Here we go. Klaus rolls an 8. More than double my last effort.
Oh man, not bad, but not high enough to catch one of the bars. All right, Fendingo.
Yeah. Constitution checking. 16.
16 is good. All right, so you start running through the goo. What is your speed non-flying?
That's a fine question.
Like -5.
Probably.
We'll say 20 and be nice.
Yeah, because you didn't write that part down.
Yeah, it never really comes up, does it? Until this moment.
Actually, you did.
Oh, what is it?
10 feet.
There it is then. Roll me a, let's see. So the goo is now kind of doing waves, like almost like a wave pool as it rolls. And it has the ability to splash you back, but it also has the ability to like roll you up and jump from it. So give me a
Acrobatics?
acrobatics. Let's see if you can get any extra movement.
21.
All right. That we'll say you get like a good extra 20 feet off the leap for that. So you did good. You have one more movement in you.
All right.
Give me that con. I'm basically setting up mechanisms so that if you guys do natural 20, we have a justification.
Roll a 1 and it's a bowel.
17.
A 17 is good, but with that earlier failure and no nat 20s, it's not going to be enough to get you there.
That's fine. I have my body.
All right.
And Klaus isn't sure he wants his.
I'm kind of enjoying this.
The lights flicker out, and normal lighting comes back as Mr. Hister announces, "What an excellent showing! We have 3 competitors who have succeeded! Let's get a round of applause!"
Yay.
And the animals let out howls and barks and whistles and various other noise that are pretty much anything except applause because they don't have hands.
Well, I'd better find a new sound effect then.
Whoops. Sorry, Steve.
Get a laugh track. Use the one from Friends.
Just pretend it's hyenas.
That would be the cast of Friends.
All right, so as you all move off of the course, from the obelisk, 2 little runes appear in the center, and out of them, Klaus and Silas's bodies.
They
Hello.
do exist.
All right.
They are glowing as before with the prior ones.
Where's the best body? By which I mean, of course, my body.
Oh, that would be in the desert, where the puma naturally prowls.
Right.
As close as we could do, anyway. There's only so much terrain in this biome.
So really, it's arbitrary, is what you're saying to me right now.
A little bit.
Oh, I hate this island.
We're working with what we're working with.
All right, get your inferior bodies and let's get the fuck out of here.
Wait, do I get to get my body even though I didn't complete the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well then what was the point of
You guys are competing as a team because you all have to get your bodies back in order for you all to get your bodies back.
Ah. So I've done nothing and benefited from the group.
That's how teamwork is supposed to work, right?
Yeah, that's a rogue in a
It's
nutshell.
basically a college group project.
Yeah.
Or basically like every episode of Authors and Dragons.
Or that, yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Oh, but there are only 2 prizes here, and we had 3 competitors succeed.
Are you gonna go get my body?
A little thing opens and an orb plops out.
Oh, well, I guess I can just have an orb instead then. I guess that's fine.
That looks like dimensional poop.
A little something extra for your troubles.
I'll give you something extra for your troubles in a minute, you fucking snake.
I don't think you want to know where he wants you to carry that, Brandon.
All right, let's go from the top of initiative. Stallion of the Gods. A reminder that you will need to touch your body to reacquire.
All right. Well, I will walk over. Can I take a piss on Klaus's as part of my movement action?
I don't know, how much move do you have?
I mean, I'm a horse. I got at least 40.
I'm going to say you've got enough movement, but you are going to have to burn an action. So rather than touching your body, to stand there and take
Oh, screw it. I'll walk over and touch my body up. I can always piss on Klaus later.
Very noble.
All right, there is a beautiful magical spinning effect, transformation as the horse is violently sucked into Silas and vice versa, and the two become one, and then it's Silas standing there for a split second, and then he is Stallion of the Gods again.
It's like a horrifying Sailor Moon transformation.
Yeah, thanks. That's what I was going for.
He is the one called Silas Kane.
Horse! Just the head popping out of his back.
Oh, God.
That's nightmarish.
So, reminder, you have now gained the ability to transform back into Silas Kane, as he is, but only for a minute per short rest. And it takes you an action to turn in and out.
So for 2 minutes a day, I can stop being a horse's ass.
Nope. Your shape has nothing to do with that, pal.
Klaus, you're up next.
Well, I was on the fence before, but since we have the option of going back and forth, I think I would like a half-elf body option as well.
Yeah, you guys are not getting you don't retain your bodies until all of you have returned to them.
I just want to see the weasel get violently sucked into Klaus's body.
So do I.
Who doesn't?
Well, that is exactly what happens as Klaus runs up and touches the foot, and magic kind of descends. Really, a lot more of Klaus goes into the weasel than the weasel goes into Klaus.
Pow.
Just a twisting, snapping of bones and sinew, and then for a moment he is Klaus once more, and then he
Sorry,
is
weasel.
the
I'll
weasel.
try to use some lube.
All right, Fendingo, that brings you up next.
I want to go examine the orb.
All right.
Let's go and examine that orb that you in no way earned.
Klaus didn't earn his body. And you know he'll be examining that every fucking chance he gets.
It's fair.
He's not wrong. How about an investigation check, since you are investigating?
I'm apparently investigating very poorly with a 9.
It is an orb. It is smooth. It is blue. It looks nice.
Hey, Brandon, he gave you blue balls. Actually, just one, which is more disturbing.
I have no idea what that is, says Brandon. Not because he's never had it, but because he has it permanently. What with being him and all. Okay.
You're up, Brandon.
I guess what, I just bat this around. How big is it?
That's pretty big. Are you gonna bat it?
Yeah, I'm going to bat it. I'm a cat. It's a ball. Bat.
All right. As soon as you touch it, there's a brilliant glow that surrounds it, and you kind of sort of intuit a bit of a voice in your head, or it forms in shapes in the orb, or maybe like it's a person punching in an elaborate dance. Whatever method of communication best conveys to you an understanding.
Probably the latter.
Probably the theatrical punching.
Yeah. It's a universal language.
So you understand that this is a special orb. It has some different capabilities of what to bestow. It can bestow a blessing of enchantments upon your forms, or it can bestow a blessing, or not a blessing of enchantment, a blessing of protection, or a blessing of progress.
Are we ready for progress, or do we need protecting?
However, you are locked in to this thing. You can't move or let go until you've made it.
Well, I think we're all about progress. Well, no, that's a lie. That's clearly a lie. I'm going to go for protection.
All right. You have selected protection. It lets you go, but nothing happens.
Oh. Well, thanks, Mr. Hister. You stupid fucking snake with your stupid fucking price shoved up your ass.
It seems the first of you has made their selection. What will the others choose? Which will prevail?
Oh.
Oh,
So we all have to give a shit?
okay.
It's a collective blessing. It's whatever you collectively choose. So it's majority rules.
Oh, This isn't even my ball. This price sucks.
I mean, you can still bat it around. It's fine.
Why, thank you, I will.
Figured. You're a cat.
Bjorg, you are up next in rotation.
Bjorg will go up to the ball and Nudge it.
Same as before, when you make contact, you are conveyed the understanding of the choice before you, a blessing of protection or a blessing of progress. And there's a little 1 already by the protection.
Bjorg will choose blessing of progress.
All right. Another one lights up, and you are able to move away again.
Okay.
Another selection made. 3 to go. What will it be?
All right.
Stallion of the Gods.
All right. Well, Silas Main will wander up and he will kick at the ball.
All right. Same as before. I don't know. I assume the best way to convey to you is just by violent cursing in the Dwarven tongue. So I guess that's how you get it.
Thank you. Well, the only progress I can imagine is the heretics I'm with, converting. So I choose progress.
All right. That's 2 for progress and 1 for protection. Klaus.
All right. Klaus will go over and place his member on the orb.
Wow, I'm glad I didn't wait for him.
And Fendingo now officially abstains.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to tip the scales anyway. Klaus would like to choose progress.
Okay. At the 3rd vote, the orb begins to glow brightly, flashing and flaring, and then bursting in a...
You guys see what I did with my dick?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, that is the way that timed
I
out.
just popped it.
And as the power washes over you all, and you see like a flash of it flare off in the distance towards something. I don't know, maybe some forgotten member of your party.
Let's not ever use the word member again.
Yeah.
Especially not after forgotten.
We'd love to forget your member, but you won't let us.
You have all leveled up. You've
Huh?
all finished the experience necessary to reach the next level.
Oh wait, aren't we supposed to like murder something and smoke it?
Hey, Mr.
Hey, snake
Hister!
guy.
Maybe this is just pre-packaged animal souls. I don't know.
I mean, there's a little bit of smoke coming from the shattered orb effect, so I guess you guys can snort that if you want.
Everyone smoke the orb.
I mean, I can cast
Smoke the
Firebolt
orb!
on the snake.
Smoke the orb!
Ooh, speaking of smoke.
We got a whole audience here.
Murder everyone.
I gotta look through my inventory. I think I might have a Gunther smoke orb left.
We've leveled up. It's time to get high as fuck.
He's like, wait, are we about to long rest? Yeah. So that's the same as a short rest plus, right? Yeah. So I can get to my body? Yeah. It's drug time!
Yes, I do have a glowing cerulean smoke vial.
Well, we have been working hard, I suppose. And our prizes
Yeah.
sucked, so...
In the middle of the arena.
Yeah, I want to turn back into myself and smash that smoke vial and let's all get high as fuck.
I mean, you're out of combat. You can.
It's no matter that, like, thousands of people are watching us right now.
Yeah.
Remember, kids, winners don't do drugs. Smash, snort.
I'm a fucking rock star, dude. You think I haven't had thousands of people watch me do drugs before? Come on.
So in the span of Fandingo turning into himself and digging around in his pouch, does anyone? I'll give everyone one turn to do something or move out of range if you don't want to get high as shit.
Bjorg will turn back into Bjorg and remain, because this is to be absorbed.
Klaus will remain a weasel and stick around to get high. Weaselly.
Brandon doesn't really have anything else he can do. I'll just stare into my own asshole. Let the drugs do their work.
Soon, asshole. Soon you'll be a human asshole again.
Silas, being in, well, a horse of a different color, will trot off away from the drugs and instead spend the time berating the crowd for their sinfulness.
Now I really, really need to get high.
With that, Fandingo turns, pops, and yeah, you four are you're gonna start your long rest, I think is the only way to go about that one.
Yep.
The crowd, Silas, you're there to watch it. The crowd watches and sees and goes, "Oh, all right. Well, I guess that's done." And they all head back out. They start.
I hope they didn't have any other events planned in this arena.
Repent, you filthy pieces of shit.
The lights start to flicker out. Just eventually, the whole place goes dark.
No, there's still plenty of lights on, trust me.
But they're unconscious, so maybe I can influence them subconsciously.
They are unconscious, yes. They are also stoned to the bone. So I'm just saying, whatever you say, it might get a little twisted around.
Hey, subliminal, brainwashing is the best kind.
What horrors are you going to try to speak into their ears?
Oh, I'm going to be reading them Torag tracks for the entire time.
Okay, so you are not going to take a long rest.
This is going to be a bad trip.
Yeah.
I'll take a long rest, but maybe a slightly shorter rest than them.
I'm not sure you get a long rest. I think there's a good chance they might go more than 8 hours.
Okay, then.
If this stuff's
I'll
worth
take
shit, we will.
I'll take my 8 hours, and if they're still unconscious, then I will revert back into my human form just long enough to dump out about a bunch of Torag tracks so I can recite them to them.
All right, so as the Gunther smoke fills your senses and you all except Silas Main drift into a drug-addled vision, your minds and your bodies and your souls, they're all sort of connected to the greater heart of your classes and the experience you just gained. And man, you're kind of drifting along. Why don't we go ahead and do a fresh round of initiative?
Brandon Firemaster gets a 21.
Bjorg gets a 4.
Non-high Silas gets a 7.
Klaus Richter rolls a 22.
Fendingo gets a 14.
So we will begin with Klaus, who kind of is rolling around, and he kind of tumbles off and lands, and he is himself again. Klaus Richter, in his half-elf body, walking around, checking his dong, making sure everything is as it should be. And he finds himself standing at a fork in the road. And down one end, he can see, or rather feel, a little more strength, a little more movement, a little more speed of wit. There's physical power down that road. And down the other, he can see various movements and techniques and skills and abilities. It's something that could deepen his capabilities as a rogue, rather than his fundamental strengths. It's a hefty decision that will have to be made. But not this turn, because we're just doing setups. So.
Okay.
Brandon Thighmaster. So you are awakened, and you are once more yourself, fully Brandon Thighmaster. And you kind of stand up, and you see what looks like you, but maybe a little bit better version of you.
Oh man, that's sweet.
And he motions for you to follow.
Wait a minute. If he's a better version of me, he must be the real me, surely. Is the only thing that makes sense. Yeah, I'll follow him.
All right.
Seems like he knows what he's doing.
All right. Fendingo. You awaken once more as Fendingo, and you find that you are sitting in a library. And before you is a massive book with a Roman numeral 5 on it.
I lick the book.
All right. You begin licking the book. Silas Main, you're sleeping as normal.
Yay, nightmares.
Eternal nightmares.
Just the most horrible shit we can't describe on this podcast is what's going on in your head.
It is a good dream.
Yes.
Bjorg, you awaken to find yourself as you once more. You are in a field of flowers, and you hear some sort of monster or creature snuffling and snorting and tearing into the grasslands nearby.
I move towards it.
Okay. Brandon Thighmaster.
Okay. So far this has been a really good trip.
Yeah. Other Brandon leads you into a room, and there's a vast pool of still water between you and the next sort of concrete ledge. And Other Brandon kind of looks at you and then runs and sprints across the water nimbly, his feet barely leaving like a ripple and stopping on the other side.
Wow. I mean, I'm a pretty good swimmer, but that looks more efficient than swimming. And it looks cooler too. You know what? I reckon I can do that. I mean, if I can do that, then I can definitely do that. I will follow the other Brandon.
All right. Roll me a acrobatics.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 26.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with that, it is no issue. You immediately understand the way that Other Brandon's movements interacted with the water, and you replicate it precisely, following in his stead, maybe even a little more smoothly than he did with that 26.
Aha. Anything I can do better.
He nods and leads you into the next room. All right, Fendingo, you have licked the book and you have tasted of leather.
All right, I'll open the book.
All right, you begin to open the book. Roll me I believe you are a charisma-based spellcaster, yes?
Yes.
Roll me a charisma check.
6.
You begin to lift the top of the book, but it is very difficult, and you find you have to concentrate more than you expected.
Turns out licking the book wasn't quite the charismatic opener you thought it'd be.
In fairness, he is really high on Gunther smoke.
It has worked for me so many times in the past, though.
All right, Silas Main continues to sleep. Bjorg,
Yes.
you see some sort of misshapen monster. It's a dream realm, so we're not going to get too specific, but a lot of tentacles and ugly. Feels like a good touch point.
What's it doing?
It is tearing up the flowers, chewing them.
I attack!
them. Roll me an attack, and you are regular Bjorg with regular Bjorg axe
All right,
for this
so let me.
scenario.
And that is a 22.
Oh yeah, you guys are just snapping through these. With that you are able to. Not only do you cleave into this thing, not only are you furious, but because it's so personal, it feels like your fury adds a deeper, more substantial level. As you're like, no, really, fuck you.
Carve it from balls to brains.
If it had either of those things, yes. All right, Klaus, you, as much as you look at that body one, you're like, that would be cool. You're like, but I'm not out here to be the best lifter or the best runner. I'm out here to be the best rogue. And so you begin to walk down the path of skills and tactics, losing yourself in all of the options. And what you select, we will find out when your character has leveled. All right, Brandon.
Let's do this.
You step through, and Other you is now pointing up to the very top where it looks like there's something kind of raised up on a cliff, but it's too high and sheer to see. And just like with the water, Other Brandon takes off running and just runs straight up the side of the cliff.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Coming over on the other side, looking down, and motioning for you to follow.
Well, I've been spending time as a cat. I've seen this work. I've seen cats go up drapes. It's the same basic principle. I'm going to do it.
I'm going to need acrobatics again.
Bloop. 24.
Okay. Yeah, just like with the water, you intuitively understand what you're being shown, and you use your key and you race up, coming up the other side, and you find that Other Brandon is standing there waiting for you, and he gestures to the ultimate symbol of accomplishment, the knowledge that you have achieved your goal. There's a weight bench sitting and waiting for you.
Oh, it's been so long. It's been so long since I've seen a decent weight bench. Oh, wait, am I going to be able to spot me?
Guess we'll have to find out.
Oh, I don't ever want to wake up.
No, you put me back in the smoke! All right, Fendingo.
Man, this book's heavy, man. But I guess I want to open it. still.
Feels like there's fun secrets inside that book. Secrets that are interesting. Secrets that could be fun.
Let's figure some shit out. Charisma again?
Yep.
9.
All right, you make a little more progress in lifting, but you are still not quite able to open the book.
I keep losing my grip on the cover because of, well, saliva.
All right, Silas Main is sleeping well. Bjorg has slain his foe and is dicing it to pieces, having gained his new brutal critical insights. Klaus is selecting his feats. Brandon Thighmaster is spotting Brandon Thighmaster on the weight bench.
It's joyous.
Living the dream. All right, Fandingo. I think you are the only one still active, so let's do another charisma, this time with advantage.
That's okay. This time it was a 20.
There you go. All right. You've been dicking around a little bit, but you're like, all right, this is clearly a spellcasty thing I have to focus on. Fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So you bring forth your bardic talents, you entice the book, you charm it, you compliment its spine and its finely pulled cover, and the book decides to open its pages and allow you to read. And oh my goodness, what an interesting amount of spells there are inside here as you gain access to 5th level spells. Obviously, you're higher than 5th level character.
Lookity, lookity. I can make the entire kitchen scene from Beauty and the Beast now.
And that means it's just a matter of time until he does.
Be our guest, be our guest. Smoke all love, gun through shit.
So that will pretty much take y'all through the end of your long rest. You'll wake up fully leveled with access to your abilities and one more body to go acquire before your time on the Isle of Warlock Monroe has come to an end. And I think that's probably the best place to call it for this particular session. Now, as you know, don't worry, we are not done. We are taking your questions while we're doing the live blog at facebook.com/authorsanddragons. And before we get to that, of course, there is the Discord questions associated with the Patreon that we already plugged earlier in the episode, so we don't need to go through that again. But, you know, it's there. So, Rick, what do you say? Why don't we mosey on over to the Discord and see what questions they are posing?
We can definitely do that. And just a reminder, if you were on the Patreon, you could be skipping the line like these fine folks. like our friend Aaron Tiggy, for example, says, it's a little early for New Year's resolutions, but are there any goals you're looking to accomplish in 2021? You know, if we're either back to normal or what if we're not back to normal?
Yeah, normal.
What really is normal?
Man, that's a tough one. I set goals every New Year's. I don't do resolutions. I do like things I'm working toward. And I haven't even contemplated it for 2021 because just who the fuck knows?
For real.
Either way, I hope to finish CF9.
Well, I already quit smoking this year, so I guess I could just start again.
Well, I've got a book I'm drafting right now, and I'm hoping to get Punk Rock Paladin in final form. I'm hoping to get some shit, some backlogged shit done. Depending on where things are at in terms of safety, it would be nice to get my sword club up and running again. We haven't had class in almost, well, it's like 8-9 months. And just, I don't know. This year has made me think a lot about the amount of time my family got to spend together before all this happened, and I find in retrospect that that amount of time that we had together when before all of this was incredibly unsatisfactory. So I clearly need to think about how to arrange my time to make sure that we don't just go back to that.
Book-wise, I'd say 4 goals at the moment. I got Bill of the Dead 3, Bent 4, and then I have 2 secret projects that I don't want to discuss now because if I discuss them, it means that they won't happen and I'll jinx myself. So that's pretty much on my immediate list for that. As far as everything else, well, it would be nice to get the kids back in school so I could get those hours back during the day. But perhaps just as important, well, from just a fun standpoint, I want there to be A&D Con 2021.
Absolutely.
I want to see you
That's a good
guys. I
one.
want to see all the people who are going to be there. I want that to happen.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you.
Oh, I'm gonna get so drunk.
Yeah.
We've been locked up for so long.
I've tried Texas barbecue. I've tried barbecue in the Carolinas. I have not tried Nashville barbecue, so
Dude, hot chicken.
hot chicken. All right, I'll
Hot
make note of that.
chicken. Hattie's. We'll all come in a day early and we'll go to Hattie's for hot chicken.
Excellent.
I think for goals of releasing next year, Fred 7 is now bumped to that, and Spell Sword and Stealth number 5 I'd like to get written and out next year. And I'll be honest, I don't even have anything for past that, just because I've been fighting to get this year's projects squared away.
Yeah, release-wise, I need to do the next 2 novellas in Bubba Season 5, and I need to do 2 Harker novels and release Black Knight 8. So that'll be Harker 8 and 9, and Bubba 5.2 and 5.3 and 5.4. And then I've got 3 things in progress that aren't tied to any ongoing series that I'd like to finish. See if I can do anything with those.
Release-wise, I haven't really released anything this year at all except for Shingles projects. I think, I should have the next Brandon Firemaster book out before the end of the year, with any luck. But as for next year, I've got a couple of kind of off-the-wall projects that are in the pipeline and I really want to get finished. So here's to that.
All right. Moving right along, our friend Fluffed, not to be confused with Fluffer, asks, which Christmas songs are your favorite, most tolerable, and absolutely fucking least favorite?
Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues is the greatest Christmas song ever.
I like Nat King Cole's Christmas album. That was basically my childhood, and it's still very lovely to listen to. Like, really takes me back. My least favorite Christmas song is the fucking Christmas Shoes song.
I was going to say, can we all just collectively agree it's the Christmas Shoes and almost take that one off the table? It's so fucking bad.
Fuck
I
you,
don't
talk
know
about
that
some
song.
Christmas shoes.
What the fuck is the Christmas Shoes
Yeah,
song?
I don't
Oh,
know that.
it's a
What the
it's,
fuck are you guys?
It's a song. So in brief, it's a song about by a kid who's going to buy shoes, and he needs money, and he desperately wants to buy shoes for his mother because she's dying, and he wants her to have nice shoes when she meets Jesus. It's like horrendously sacrilegious.
That's a waste of money.
Jesus wore shitty sandals. Why would he give a fuck?
Yeah, Jesus is not a guy known for his taste in footwear.
For real.
There's a great Patton Oswalt bit about the Christmas Shoes song that I'm linking in our private Discord, and users will have to look up on their own, or we'll just cut this part out. Cut my part out, not the response as a whole.
If we're taking the Christmas Shoes song out, I would say Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You, because I've worked retail. I worked retail, and it was like every third song. But I actually can't hate it completely because Michael Bublé did a very lovely cover of it.
No, Joe, I think Christmas Shoes is fair. I thought it was more ubiquitous than it was, so that was a very fair poll.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're the only fucking two.
I'm just imagining Jesus being like, you could pray for your mom to get well, but you just want a pair of fucking shoes for her, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you dumb fuck is exactly what Jesus says to people. I mean,
Well, he said it in a different language.
Moneylenders in a temple, maybe.
what is you dumb fuck in Aramaic?
I don't know, but we should definitely look that up for Christmas.
I'll ask my dad.
Your dad speaks Aramaic?
My dad, my dad is a doctorate in theology from Harvard, so he speaks like he knows ancient Hebrew and Greek and a whole bunch of stuff.
I cannot be the only one on this podcast right now who really wants to get stoned with Joe's dad.
Why? I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about.
He was in he was in nightclub bands in the 70s, so he did actually spend a period of time high.
Confusing
if by
nightclub
some
goers with ancient Hebrew.
and if you ever listen to this, Dad, I'm so very sorry.
He'll only listen to it after he's recovering from the hangover that he gets when he first meets us all.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Starlight. This next song's called Just a Bunch of Lovecraftian Symbols. The dancers just freeze in horror.
I don't really hate any of the Christmas songs because I switch the fucking channel if I don't want to listen to them. But Fairy Tale of New York is the greatest Christmas song ever.
I'm sure the Mariah Carey Christmas song is a perfectly nice Christmas song in the same way that water is perfectly nice unless you're undergoing water torture.
Yeah.
But my contender is one I don't think you guys have in the States. Is Slade, Merry Christmas, Everybody. And it's just this really kind of... It's like a bunch of drunk dads singing a Christmas number one. And it's magical. I love it.
I will be looking that up as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, drop a link in the Discord or something.
I will do that. Spread some cheer.
Yeah.
I'm sure this will be a lot of people's most hated one, but honestly, for whatever reason, Jingle Bell Rock stuck with me through childhood as a favorite, and now it makes me sort of nostalgic. So, even it's one of those things like I can recognize there's a lot of things in that song that people would not enjoy, but for me, it's more of a memory association.
Well, I never remember the lyrics to that, so I just end up putting random words after Jingle Bell. Jingle Bell Blong and Jingle Bell
Dong.
Dong. Jingle bingle jingle 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 bells splat. No,
Yeah.
I mean it's a great song. But
My favorite's always been Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes. I don't have anything beyond that to say about it.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
You might have and don't know it. It's on all the time. I like it. If I have to choose a least favorite, it's probably a country song that I haven't heard.
Just insert random country song here and Bob hates it.
Oh, I could leave Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. That one
Yeah.
I can do without any given year.
We should do a super jolly Christmas song power hour.
Oh God.
No.
I worked retail, man. I
worked in a toy store. You can all eat shit.
We could do obscure Christmas song power hour. Start with Robert Earl Keen, Merry Christmas from the Family.
Yeah, never heard of that one.
See?
Yeah.
See?
The only trouble there is you have to find 60 obscure Christmas songs that are worth listening to.
I didn't say they had to be worth listening to.
That's not the point of a power hour.
That's true. Suffering is the point of a power hour.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. I would say a shout out to the instrumentalists. My favorite has been for a while Trans-Siberian Orchestra's version of Carol of the Bells.
Oh,
yeah.
shit, that's a great one.
Have you ever seen them live?
I have.
Yes.
We
Holy
actually
shit,
Fucking
they're good.
incredible.
a couple of years back, actually, when my wife and I had first got married, we got like nosebleed seats for them to see them in Seattle,
So
and
did
we were getting ready to get into our seats, and some random fucking guy comes up to us and is like, "Are you guys sitting up here?" And we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, you're not. I got 2 front row tickets, and we're not using them. Here you go." And so
Holy shit.
we got to see
Holy
TSO.
damn.
We got to see TSO like front and center. It was so good.
I don't go to a whole lot of big concerts. That's not really my thing, but man, the lighting was
Oh, yeah.
incredible. Because so much of the time, your lighting designer has like three gimmicks, and they're all done by the second song. But this guy continued to do new and interesting stuff through the entire show. I was really blown away.
Joe, you should get your dad to team up with him so they can play their creepy bells while he screams ancient curses at the audience.
I really should ask my
yeah.
I really should ask my dad if he knows some Aramaic or Hebrew curse words.
Or Enochian.
Yeah.
We should write our own Christmas song.
You laugh, but one of my bedtime stories growing up was the Enuma Elish, which is the Babylonian creation myth, and that's like Marduk killing Tiamat, the snake goddess, and building the world out of her corpse.
Boy, this one episode is deepening the Joe lore
This
so much.
explains so much.
I'm imagining Tiny Joe going, I just wanted Thomas the Tank.
Well, now you read about Thomas, the man who tanked the armies of God.
And how old were you when you got your first broadsword, Joe?
Oh God, I got
Like the one I found or the one that a lady in a lake gave me?
Wasn't a bad way to grow up.
No, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, my dad gave me old George Jones albums.
That's pretty
My
cool.
dad used to tell me stories about running over the moles in the garden with the ride-on mower. I mean, it was hilarious, but...
And again, explains a lot.
Oh.
No, Dad. I want to hear about Marduk. Isn't that Great Dane in the comics? You know.
Oh. Do we want to do one more from the Discord?
Sure. Let's see here. Our friend Morgan Hobbs asks, "Will you ever answer Coldest Charlie's last question?" To which I would say, I don't feel like scrolling, so no.
Fuck you,
Probably
Charlie.
not. Yeah.
We respect our patrons, but not that much. Not enough to do some actual work. Fuck you.
All right. Sure. All right. Why don't we mosey on over to the Facebook page and see what those folks are wondering about?
But our friend Devin asks, "How do you get into the headspace of your characters without coming across as schizophrenic? I've been toying with fictional work, and every time I imagine a character, it just comes off as me, but with tits."
Oh, actually, I found a good name for the technique of this when I was reading Save the Cat by the author whose name I can't remember, but most people know the book. It's a very popular book on screenwriting. And he called the technique, give him an eye patch and a limp. And it was a way of differentiating dialogue on a screenplay, because if you're able to give the dialogue something that makes it exceptional to all the other dialogue, it's just a much easier way of kind of giving separate voices to characters. So he put it as eye patch and a limp. Obviously it's not, that kind of in your face, but just kind of giving each character a hook can really help you just build on that character and make them individualistic. You don't have to go nuts with it, but even just thinking of that hook while you write them just makes the job easier.
Okay, so we cut off their hand and give them a hook. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, but Steve's right, because I have a character who never speaks in contractions, and that's a way to easily differentiate that character's dialogue, and just putting that particular stilted constriction on her dialogue then affects word choice and all of that, and helps me then get into the head of that character.
When I'm starting off, when I'm first creating characters, or when I'm first envisioning them, the common thing I find myself doing is I attach a single adjective to each character. Like, one is just wise, one is impetuous, one is this or that or the other thing, and that's not the whole of their character, but it becomes one of their most defining traits, and so everything else about them kind of grows outward from that as I write them. But that single adjective is, if I start to wander off in the weeds with that character and I find that I'm writing them in a way that's getting away from who they are, I go back to that adjective, and that actually helps me recenter and not make everybody samey.
I would say with me, because I do multiple editing passes of each story, it's just refining bit by bit. Therefore, I don't, if it's a new character, I don't dive in feet first. It's kind of like that first pass, I'm just kind of getting their dialogue down. I'm learning a bit about them. Maybe the next pass is going out to coffee with them, getting to know them a little better, and so on and so on. So that hopefully by the end of the book, either we're best friends or worst enemies, but I know a lot more about them. So it's basically building them in layers.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I'm similar in the layer bit. So I often start off with knowing the general story of the book and how the major characters are going to fit into that. And sort of as I'm figuring that out, I'm also figuring out, okay, these events have to happen, and therefore these characters have to take these actions. And so I need to figure out what sort of reasons they would have for those motivations, for what would get them there. And it's kind of like building that series and understanding what consistent personality traits and aspects of them would allow them to act in the way that like they do through the story. That I kind of, and that is sort of how I build the headspace to kind of get to the question as it was, without it being me, because it's not. I understand, like, if you start it with yourself, it's hard to not feel like you're just doing different versions of the same character. So I like to sort of let the characters kind of be built by their actions and then figure out their motivations. And then by the time I've drilled down into that, I've kind of created something that's its own thing. And as I understand the character in that regard, it's a lot easier to write for them, and they stay distinct.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like once you get past the first book, it's a lot easier to keep them distinct.
Yeah, I don't do anything consciously, at least. I just kind of like, kind of intuitively know what kind of character I want to write, and I do that.
I gave you someone else's technique then, but I use a really basic technique, is that I usually, when I'm writing a character, I will imagine either a character from a soap opera or a movie or somebody I know in real life, and kind of hang the character on that template, and it makes it quite easy to think about the speech modes because you've already heard them speak, so you can kind of incorporate that into your writing. It doesn't sound very mystical or cool, but yeah, just try and hang it on a real life example, and you won't go far wrong.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but most of what works for what we do isn't really all that mystical or cool.
No.
Yeah. Although I would say if you want mystical and cool, read Gormenghast. I think it's probably the best example of individualized character dialogue tics. There's about a dozen richly realized characters, and they all talk differently.
I also think if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that that's in Steve's top 5 Desert Island books.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, getting back to that first part, if you need good villains or victims, just go to TikTok and listen to random videos for 5 minutes until you find somebody you want to kill.
I don't like writing that fucking much. Jesus. I'd go back to a day job before I had to spend time on TikTok.
I like watching what Gen Z's doing. Those kids.
I'll trust you to keep me informed.
Those kids. Those kids are freaks. I love them. Kids are all right.
All right. So moving from kind of a deep one to a less deep one, our friend Ethan asks, "What's your favorite and least favorite side for Thanksgiving? Side dish."
I feel like, are we all just waiting for Steve and Bevan to begin the pumpkin battle anew?
You'll have to go to the mimic chest to find out my Thanksgiving picks. My educated and entirely, absolutely real Thanksgiving options.
Yes.
My I get normally it's like mashed potatoes and stuff, but yesterday my wife did she did like garlic roasted broccoli, and that was really good.
I choose stuffing and no least favorite.
I also love stuffing.
Oh, least favorite is
Fucking so
cranberry
good.
sauce. I'm not a big fan of cranberry sauce.
Oh, come on.
It's
like purple Jell-O.
But since Bevan took stuffing, I'm gonna go deviled eggs.
I mean, my least favorite is about an hour and a half after anyone eats deviled eggs.
Live with it. I love deviled eggs.
Jesus God. Peel the paint
Oh,
off the
look,
walls.
it's all gonna be ruined. You're wrecking a bathroom on Thanksgiving. I mean, at this point, does the ammunition matter?
It all turns to shit. Who cares?
Yeah, it's like you're gonna buy a new toilet the next day, so let's just live it up.
It's just the deviled egg farts, though. My God. I live over an hour away from my family, so there's a long car ride. Right about the time the deviled eggs are really reaching maximum brewage.
I was about to say maybe farts don't count as a side, but maybe they do.
You have obviously not spent any time with my family if you don't think farts count as a side.
If you can taste them, they count.
A whole fart buffet. Just an entire car full of my least favorite sides.
Least
you got
favorite,
that?
my older brother's farts. But as far as favorites, I had leftover sides for lunch today because I love stuffing and rice and gravy.
I like non-lumpy mashed potatoes, but I will definitely turn my nose up at green bean casserole.
I like green bean casserole. That would have been maybe a number 2.
The only green beans I like are the ones that my family makes, which involve bacon strips and I'm pretty sure brown sugar.
Yeah.
So not
I've
really
discussed
green
at
beans.
length my problem with that line of thinking in the mimic chest. I'm not going to get back into it again.
Oh, I have one that probably will make nobody else's least favorite, but I really do not like anything made with sweet potatoes.
Actually, I'm with you on that. I fucking hate them.
Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you people?
I like sweet potatoes. I'll have them.
I've tried them in every form and fashion and function you can imagine. I
So
just don't like
have
the base
I.
flavor.
Yeah, I don't see the appeal.
I mean, what's not to love? It's a potato, and it's sweet.
It really comes down to it.
Just can't. Ugh, I can't. Ugh.
Yeah. No thanks.
It's like saying, what's not to love? It's cigarette in a pint of lager. you can't just combine things and say, oh, that's fine then.
I mean, sure.
What's not to love? It's a dead baby foot in a bottle of buttermilk.
Well, I don't like either of
Jesus.
those things. I don't like babies, and I don't like buttermilk.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, Rick, your example just went really dark there.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought up buttermilk.
Yeah, I'm less
right.
concerned about the fact that this is not a very good analogy to the fact that it's like a deeply satanic analogy of it.
And we're back to Joe's father teaching us all Enochian.
Like, let me tell you of the myth of the dead baby foot in Marduk's buttermilk.
And Joe's dad, I now also apologize if you ever listen to this. No, I don't.
All right. Do we want to do some more?
Yeah, let's probably do one or two more. We were a little short on the episode end.
All right. Well, our friend Daniel asks, since there's no travel involved, which means less logistics, is there any chance of us seeing more Digicons throughout the year, in addition to the physical one?
I think in regards to the physical one next year, so ideally we want, obviously, to be able to have A&D-Con again. That is the goal, but only if it's safe, of course. So we want that, but we will see if it becomes viable. Now, that said, I think we saw a lot of great involvement on the digital side, so it's definitely an aspiration to make Digicon part of A&D-Con moving forward. I think that would be a fairly safe thing to say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I really want the physical con. It was especially after having a year locked up doing fuck all. Really want that physical con. Whether we do a digital con as well as that, I think you'd be surprised by how much prep work went into the digital con.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably put more work into that than we do the actual physical
I
con.
was going to say comparable, but yeah. I definitely think that the logistics of the digital con are at least as onerous as the ones for the face-to-face con.
Probably bears mentioning John bore the lion's share of the logistics for actual A&D Con.
But you see, with the physical con, it was John's problem. With the digital con, it was my problem. That's where the difference is.
But at the same time, I think we saw which things were really popular / maybe didn't require a lot of effort. So we could possibly be doing more of those.
Yeah, I think the goal would be to at least record our panels, and if not, I don't know if a simultaneous stream is going to be viable. I don't know if we're going to have the capability or the Wi-Fi or etc. But I think collecting, cataloging, and then uploading as much as we can is something we could do, and probably will try to do in capturing the digital aspect.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always just going to be some stuff that you can't do, like the going out to the bar and everything. That's just, you got to be there for that.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to film a power hour at a con once, and my God, that was a
Jesus,
disaster.
that was awful.
Yeah. We can do them on the Patreon live stream thing because we figured out a methodology there, but recording one with everybody in one room and a camera was shit show, is speaking lightly.
I mean, it made our gaming look professional and efficient.
Well, there's a lot less screaming in our gaming, generally. A lot
What?
less distorted, constant screaming.
Oh yeah. So that's the thing. Now, on the subject of will there be more Digicons outside the the A&D simultaneous or replacement one? I don't know. See previous statement about how much work it was.
Yeah, it gets tough because all of us have other writing careers or other day jobs and families and this. So promoting and juggling all of those things it's tough. But if you would like to see much more content, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/authorsanddragons, and you can get a whole lot more of us.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of problems that magically go away if you give me some money.
Yeah. Give us enough, we'll hire somebody to do this shit for us.
I can also see us doing things like maybe more focused events, like maybe a 3-hour panel or something on the YouTube or something to that effect. That an event or a limited is a lot more scalable for a long-term thing. Like I could see us doing those rather than organizing 2 full days of content again.
Yeah,
But Digicon was a lot of fun.
it was.
And
Yes.
it did have some great engagement. So I'm definitely not going to say no. I'm just going to say join the Patreon and give us some more money.
I think there will be one in some form in 2021. Hopefully not a replacement, hopefully an accompaniment. But it's going to be at least my personal goal to like try and make sure we have some sort of digital equivalent for our folks who are unable to make the trips.
Yeah. And that is an important part about it, because a lot of people were really appreciative of the Digicon. Not just those who didn't get to go to the physical con, but those who just wouldn't have been able to go to the physical con anyway. We haven't forgotten about you guys, and we do appreciate that.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Authors and Dragons. We'll be back next week at the side quest, and then in 2 weeks as they embark to find the final body, the Brandon Thigh Master body.
The best body.
We'll see you then. The best body. We'll see you then. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
Did you guys see what I did with my dick?